Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome. It's been a lot going on, and now we're back to just a regular streaming Shabbat, regular for now. So we begin our service tonight on page 120 of Mishkan Tefillah with our candle lighting blessings. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. So we've opened up our hearts with that Shabbat nigun. We lit our Shabbat candles. Everybody take in a deep breath. Inhale. And let's welcome in the Sabbath bride. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat Page 138. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Hishmianu el hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'litila v'chadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat Shabbat lechuba nelcha ki mekor habracha merosh mikedem כבוד אדוני עלייך בגלל לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת בשלום עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אלוהי העם סגולה. בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת I hope now you feel that the presence of Shabbat has entered into your home and into your heart. And we are ready to segue fully into our evening service with the Chatzi Kaddish on page 144. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba be'alma divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayetzecho beit Yisrael bagala u'bismahan kariv ve'imeru amen Heshmer Rabba mevarach ve'alamu al me'al maya yitbarach ve'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei d'kodesha barichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma ve'imeru amen. On page 146, we come to the call to worship. Please prepare yourself for the Baruchu. Baruchu et Adonai We continue in English on page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time, and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars and the heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, oheb amo Yisrael. On pages 152 and 153, we come to the Shema, followed by the Ve'ahavta. I invite you to prepare yourself for these words of Torah. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lebavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha lehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot beinenecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'biyisharecha. Leman tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeti etchem Elchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, v'yot lachem Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem. Page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice, as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. On page 160, we continue with the Hashkivenu, a blessing that when we when we lie down, the opposite of rising, when we lie down at night, our souls will be at rest, but remain safe, not fully at their rest. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom, Leshalom, Lehamidenu Shomreinu, Lechayim, Uvrosalinu Sukat Shlomecha, Uvrosalinu Sukat Shlomecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us daily wrong from right, O Adonai. Amen. Amen, amen. Amen, amen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, la'asot et haShabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, la'asot et haShabbat lidorotam berit olam. B'nei Israel, Oti leolam, Oti leolam. V'shamru b'nei Israel et haShabbat, la'asot et haShabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamin asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, la'asot et haShabbat lidorotam berit olam. U'bayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, la'asot et haShabbat lidorotam berit olam. We come now to the central portion of our evening prayer. The Tefillah begins on page 164 and continues over the next few pages. I invite you to prepare yourself for these sets of blessings. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevii Gula Livnei B'neihem, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם מעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממיט ומחיי, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. We continue together on page 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands. You are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odcha levadcha b'yir'ah na'avod. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, a wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'el lehodot. Page 178. Shalom Rav, Bal Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Bal Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon, b'chol hashalom. V'tov b'necha levarech et amcha Yisrael, b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav, Bal Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Bal Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. We take a moment now for silent prayer. You might use the words on pages 180 and 181 or the meditations of your own heart. Yehiyu leratzon imrefi Vehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri V'goali. May the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable to you, Adonai, our rock and redeemer. We turn our thoughts now to those who are ill or injured and in need of healing, in need of strength to their body, mind, or spirit. As I share the names on my list, please feel free to share in the chat anyone for whom you are also saying a blessing for healing. Mary Kennedy, Rosalind Cantu, Mike Haug, Lori Perry, Nick Joliot, Bernard Strassner, Ariel Batsluva, Rhoda Wessler, Marian Finkel, Skip, Kathy and Jeffrey Brace, Rhonda Butler, Ricky Grant, Bruce Schechter, Norman Bernstein, Joseph Matter, Shoshana Bat Abraham, Minna Dornfeld, Michael Kumakawa, Neil Savage, Joey Jones, Juliette Origi, Leslie White, Ann Cohen, Charlotte Birch, Jim Crisio, Neil Slater, Anita Ash, Robert Lessiston, Marianne Lessiston, Marcy Bellows, Daryl Swan, and Steve McGrew. And of course, we hold in our thoughts those still suffering with COVID or with other illnesses that they can't get proper treatment for because the hospitals are overrun, and just everyone in need of strength and health in their body, mind, and spirit. The Misha Berach is on page 371. Misha Berach Avotenu Bekor HaBracha Imotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu bekor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. This week's Torah portion is Parashat Miketz, telling the story of the initial reunion between Joseph and his brothers, though the brothers do not recognize Joseph. We discussed during Torah study yesterday how Joseph tests his brothers to see how they've changed and to decide whether to reveal himself to them. There seems to be some element of the manipulation of the situation he finds himself in that's a little bit about vengeance for their treatment of him all those years ago, and certainly one can understand why Joseph might behave that way. But we also see that he gets very emotional in this and next week's Parshiot, and it seems that there is a desire to reconnect, despite the fear and anger and resentment that may still linger between all the brothers. His accusations against his brothers, keeping Simeon imprisoned while the rest go home to bring Benjamin back to meet this Egyptian viceroy, and so on, are a way for Joseph to assess whether the brothers have changed and if it is in fact safe for him to reveal himself. Tonight concludes our Festival of Lights. Like our High Holy Days a few months ago and our Holy Pilgrimage Festivals a few months before that, with Shavuot and Pesach at the beginning of all this, we celebrated at home. We used technology to come together as a community, and I know many families shipped gifts directly to one another this season in lieu of big family parties. There have been a few times throughout the year that folks around the country have tried to come out of their hiding places and safe zones to reunite with family and friends, and found it was unsafe to do so. This pandemic is reaching a 1-year mark globally. And although the end is certainly in sight now with the vaccine, we will likely reach the 1-year mark locally as well of not being able to gather as we'd like. The Shabbat Emet, a 19th century Hasidic work out of Poland, teaches that the reason our second Hanukkah blessing says, "Who performed miracles in those days at this time," is to teach us that we need to pray to receive illumination from these days of Hanukkah, from the miracle of our ancestors, to sustain us through days to come. The holiday of Hanukkah ends just before that darkest, shortest day of the year, which is Monday, I think. And so we still have some long nights ahead of us, and we need to be able to carry these past 8 nights of light to get us through to the yet sunny days ahead. The Shabbat Emet also teaches that the Holy Blessed One prepares the remedy before the injury. In reading this passage where Shabbat Emet says that, with some other rabbis on a Zoom call earlier this week, it was brought up how we really are so fortunate that we already had Zoom and live streaming and so on before this year, so that we were able to transition to digital gatherings rather quickly. And another rabbi brought up how fortunate we are that there have been people working for centuries on vaccines for various diseases. So much of that groundwork led to the speedy discovery of the vaccine for COVID-19. Although we still had to suffer through this year, and certainly some more than others, there were remedies there for us before the injury fully hit that helped us get through this tough time. Now, unlike the sons of Jacob who passed their brother Joseph's test, our situation is not yet changed, and family reunions are still not advisable this holiday season. We remain, like Joseph, estranged in a strange circumstance, just trying to do our best to stay alive and to help others do the same at a distance. We must allow the warmth and light of our Hanukkah candles to keep us cozy and our spirits bright through the rest of the winter, and to try to remain grateful for the partial remedies that were in place before the crisis as we wait out the rest of it. May you find yourselves blessed with miracles in our time, as did our ancestors in their time, and may we spread light, love, and health throughout the world. Amen and Shabbat Shalom. We turn now toward our concluding blessings. The Aleinu is on page 586, and I invite you to prepare yourself for this prayer. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כהי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. We turn our thoughts now to those who are no longer with us in body but remain with us in spirit. This week marks a yahrzeit for Arthur Goldstein, Dr. Marvin Kurfürst, Philip Berlin, Pauline Wessler, and Mary Rosenfeld. And we are still within the year of mourning for Bob Katz, Doris Oleski, Roger Haug, Paula Cooper, Ernie Weissman, Doris Oleski, Sandra Lenag, David Avery, Art Rich, Jason Brown, Louis Petrozello, Gary Lines, John DiNicola, Arizona Breeding, Fran Warona, Rick Grossman, Ora Alba Leon, Sharon Buell, Mona Mandel, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Patricia Michaels, Kathleen Schindler, Joe Davis, and Jamie Bellitz. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. Mourners and those who wish to join them may rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha b'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. So now's your time to go grab your challah and wine, your juice and cookies, whatever you are making motzi and kiddush over tonight, while I give some announcements. Tomorrow, there is no Shabbat morning service or Havdalah service. There is our food drive, so swing by the synagogue anytime between 12 and 3, and Jillian will have a table set up for no contact drop-off to support ACTS. Please do that. There is no religious school on Sunday this week or next. There is adult ed this Sunday at 3 p.m. Next Sunday is TBD. But certainly adult ed this week, this Sunday at 3, no religious school this week or next, no Sunday school. There is confirmation class this Wednesday. So pay attention, 8th grade boys. Okay. There is Torah study this Thursday and next. I know we're getting into holiday territory there, but Torah study's at noon, so hopefully whatever you have planned for those eves won't have started yet. So Torah study, yes. No Shabbat or Havdalah at all next weekend, and no Erev Shabbat on New Year's Day. There will be Shabbat Shacharit and Havdalah at their usual times, 10 a.m., 7:30 p.m. respectively, on January 2nd, that Saturday. And book club next meets on January 6th. So we had a ton of options for programming throughout Hanukkah. Now it's somebody else's holidays, our time to just hop in at our friends and families celebrations, if it is safe to do so, maybe on Zoom, and take some breather from the synagogue life, and then things will for sure pick up real big again in January. So that's all I got. Let's do Motzi and Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Te'avon. I drop crumbs. No matter how careful I try to be, I always end up making a big crumb mess when I eat challah. Our closing song tonight is Shalom Alechem on page 627, L'chaim. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Shalom, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you soon.